Thank you all for being here today. This is the second part of a webinar that we have prepared to give you some insights and key information about the TNA call that is open now. This second part of the webinar will be focused more in the easier platform with the catalog of services, and also in demonstrating some use cases where you can see how can you combine different services in order to improve your proposals. This session is going to be recorded and will be made available in the project website and also the social media. And at the end of the webinar, we will have period for questions, and I will moderate the questions. You can write your questions in the chat, and at the end, we will try to answer to all your doubts. In this webinar, I will be making a small introduction about the project and the TNA call that is open, and then Youssef Faidala is going to give you information about the easy platform with the catalog of services, and later on, Laura Gomez is going to provide some input of use cases for you to see how to combine different services. So now, the main goal, we are going to address here, as I spoke before, a little bit about what is the project and TNA program, also the catalog of services at Easier platform, and the use cases as previously mentioned. So this project is a 5-year project with a budget of almost 15 million euros. It is being coordinated by Miri Eric in Portugal, and it is a project. Sorry, I was interrupted. It is a project with around 31 partners involving 5 research infrastructures from 13 different countries. I'm having some problems to pass the slides. Sorry. So the main goal of this project is to deepen the comprehension of the complex relationships among microbes, plants, the environment and soil in the framework of climate change. Through this, we are offering access to advanced research infrastructures through an excellence-driven program of transnational access. This transnational access is a vital resource for researchers. We offer access to advanced research infrastructures across multiple countries, driving scientific innovation in climate change risks for terrestrial biodiversity and ecosystems, including also agricultural and agroforestry ecosystems. In our program, we provide different types of access, namely access to facilities, to services, and to products. All these services are free of charge and can be made in person or in remote through the different service providers or installations. Regarding the workflow of the TNA call that is open, please take into consideration that the deadline of this first call is the 30th of June at 4 p.m. CST, and no late submissions will be accepted. We will have then a period of for checking the eligibility and feasibility of the proposals that were submitted, and a period for evaluation of those proposals that will take a maximum of 3 months. After the evaluation period, the granted proposals will have a month to negotiate the implementation of the services with the service providers. And after December of this year, the services can start being provided. Regarding some practical suggestions from my side for you to apply to this first call, you need to explore the catalog that we offer and check the feasibility of your proposals or your projects with the facility managers or the service managers that are the ones that are providing the services. So please contact them prior to the submission in order to discuss your proposals and for you to submit a feasible proposal. The eligibility criteria is also, there are several criteria to be taken into account. You can check these criteria in our websites. So please take a look, and if you have any questions about the eligibility, please contact me as Access Officer of this TNA program. You also have to register at the CWE platform, the Collaborative Work Environment. And also, after this first registration in CWE, you also need to register in the TNA platform. So this TNA platform registration is what is going to give you access as an applicant in order to submit and have access to the form for your proposal. And read all the guidelines, all the criteria, check the catalog, explore, and if you have any questions regarding the feasibility of your proposals, you are free to contact the facility and service managers, and regarding the eligibility, you are free to contact me. So from my side, this is what I wanted to show you. And now I will give the floor to Youssef Aidala, that is going to show you how to use the easier platform for you to choose your services in our catalog of services. So please, Youssef, if you may, you can start sharing your slides.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Youssef Haidala. I am an IT engineer at ANAERIC, and I will present how to use the catalog of service of M4C project. So I will share my screen. Can you please confirm that you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, that's good. Here, as you can see, this is the description sheet of the service fitness screen. Here you can see the title with the main image of the service and the picture of the logo of the service with the general description of the service and some information, some specific information about the service and the links and the important links to the service. And in the right section, there is important information like the installation that provide this service, and you can click this link to check the installation that provide the service. For example, here we have another description sheet of the installation that provide the service. But let's come back to the description sheet of the service. As I explained in the right section, you can see different information like the country of the service, the region, the city, and the others, and some important keywords of the service. And here you have the contact. For example, if you have any question about this service, you can contact this person. You can see the position of this person, the email address, the number, and the name and the name of the responsible of the service. We have also specific information about the services, like the scientific domains of the service, the scientific subdomains, the target user, the type of access. It can be physical or virtual, and the access mode of the service. And we have another information here in green. It means that the service is available. Uh, I will I will move to the list of services provided by M4C project. As you can see, we have the list of the services in this catalog with a displayed map. So you can filter this service by country. For example, France offer 58 services. Finland has only 6 services. Okay. I'll move to the okay. Okay, sorry. Now I will show you how to use the filters. We have the first filter is free text, so you can use a word or a text to filter or to find your service. But please, for example, if you have a text of 3 words, please don't use space. Instead of space, use a comma. For example, let's say we want to use, for example, word 1 and word 2. Please don't use the space instead of the space, just a comma. And you have also a small description of the here of the how to use the free text, so you can read it in order to understand how to use it. We have also another filter, which is the keywords. The keywords that we have here in M4C catalog are collected using the information provided by the service managers. And we have also different scientific domains like social science, generics, earth, environmental science, and scientific subdomains. And when you select for example 2 options, that means that you're gonna filter using option 1 or option 2 or both of them. You can also use 2 filters in the same time. For example, I can select this scientific domain with the 2 options in this scientific subdomains. That means that I will filter using the filter 1 and the filter 2. You can also filter using the research infrastructure. I can, for example, if I want to see the services belong to LifeWatch ERIC infrastructure, I can do it now. I will delete the other filters. I want also to see the list of LifeWatch ERIC services. So here we have the list. Of course, they have a few services. And you can also filter by country. So in order to filter by country, you have 2 options. You can use this filter or you can use the map. Okay. And of course, we have the description and more information about the microclimates. There is another thing that I forget to specify. In order to apply for a service, you have here in the right bottom of the description sheet of the service that you want to apply for, this button, submit my project, in order to apply for your project. I think that's all for me. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you, Youssef. So please, Laura, if you are ready, you can start sharing.
Yes, thank you very much, Yvonne, for the introduction, and Youssef for presenting the catalog. Give me 1 second to share my screen. Can everybody see it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, well, after exploring the catalog of services, I'm going to present you guys some use cases. These are examples of ways in which several services can be combined to accomplish certain research goals. So this is just to showcase the potential of the research that can be done within this TNA program, and to encourage you guys to explore the catalog and find services that work for your research purposes and present your projects really. So, well, the first use case is about a researcher that is interested in identifying and characterizing the root microbiome for a specific crop variety. So the researcher has like a root sample and wants to perform culturomics. So they would apply for the culturomics service provided by BBCM in University of Ghent. In this service, they isolate the different bacteria from these root samples, culturing in several conditions to leverage all the biodiversity. The bacterial isolates are purified and replicated to avoid duplicates. And later they are identified using MALDI-TOF mass spectrometry, which can give you a classification very rapidly and on a species level. If they want to further characterize this root microbiome, they can select some strains and perform a functional excretome analysis in Athens, in the National Capital University of Athens. Over there, they can grow it in different media with different substrates to stimulate the production of some enzymes, I don't know, cellulase, proteases, etc. And when they obtain all the excretome, they analyze it, and this can reveal some interesting functional traits for each of the strains that you're analyzing. So if you identify strains of interest, then you can take the service number 3 in this use case, which would be the strain deposit. We offer several services for strain deposit in several microbes collection that can ensure that you can later use this for future research or for future biotechnological use or whatever you want. Then the second case is about researchers that want to study how a specific microorganism can induce or affect the emission of volatile organic compounds in a plant species of interest under a pathogenic interaction. So if the researcher suspects that there's a certain microbe that modulates this response, they can request this from a microbe collection, for example, Spanish type culture collection, and co-incubate it with the plant of interest in VOC screen platform at Helmholtz Center in Munich. Once the interaction between the plant and the pathogen happens, they can capture the full plant's volatilome under this microbial stress and just basically confirm the theory or no. Then the next case is supports research that want to investigate how different factors can affect the soil microbiome. So, for example, different farming practices or whether soil has a higher salinity or lower salinity. A researcher can take a soil sample and study the microbial communities over there, doing metagenomic analysis. This service is offered by UNITO. Basically, what they do over there is they extract the DNA and they do high throughput shotgun sequencing on samples that have different conditions. So you can get a view of their genomes. They can provide a taxonomic profile, functional adaptation, and overall you can see if the presence or absence of some genes of interest like resistance genes or biosynthetic genes. If the researcher wants to have more independence into interpreting their data, they can get support from UNITO by taking training in this matter, so they can understand how to perform metagenomic analysis and do long-read de novo assembly in this kind of data. And lastly, they can also do the preservation of soil samples at CAVI for potential use in the future as well. And then the last use case is about a researcher that wants to evaluate the effects of inoculants on cereals. under different water conditions, whether it is rain-fed crops versus irrigated or under several drought conditions, etc. So the researcher can request several plant growth promoting rizobacteria from a microbial collection and inoculate the cereal in several experiments. A first experiment would be in a controlled cultivation environment, and the second one would be a validation in a field condition. So firstly, when they inoculate the cereals in a controlled environment, they can control the water and they can establish water limited or water optimal regimes, and they can investigate how these inoculants can affect plant size, plant growth via imaging, and also they can capture physiological traits such as the water status or the macronutrient dynamics. So here they can do a first screening to identify some PGPRs that could have that could have a higher impact on cereal growth, and then they can validate these results using the FieldFend platform in Foggia. Basically, these inoculants can be applied in field plots that can also have different water conditions, whether it's rain-fed or irrigated or whatever. And imaging is done over these fields to capture agronomic traits such as canopy cover or plant height to validate the results that you got before. And yes, well, these are just some examples of projects that could be submitted and that could serve the purpose of Micros for Climate, that is research, yes, in the framework of climate change. But I hope this can inspire researchers here to explore the catalog and come up with their own proposals for their own research purposes. And yes, I mean, the catalog has 144 services, so there is a lot that is waiting to be used. So basically, that's my message here.
Thank you, Laura. Yes, indeed, we have a catalog of several services, different services from different institutions and research infrastructures. So you just need to check the services that suit you the best for your proposal and try to combine them. So far, we have not, we do not have that many questions in the chat. We have here one question about timeline of the project. I understood that you were asking about the timeline of Micros for Climate. It is a 5-year project that will finish in January of 2029. So regarding the question, if you can apply a proposal of 36 months, this must be discussed with the surface and facility managers of the services that you wish to apply. If this period of 36 months is the necessary period for your proposal to be feasible, this is also possible. So, but you need to discuss this with the service managers and facility managers of the services that you wish to apply. I also have here Federica Spina that raised the hand. So Federica, you may.
Well,
sorry. Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. You can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. So no, yeah, I don't have other question. Actually, if other people are needing information, we have been contacted from few people, and we already are discussing their projects and their proposal. So more than welcome to discuss other parts. Maybe just one question from my side, that it's something that few people actually asked me. So it was whether when a potential user is asking for two services, and in the catalog is written down that they should come from different providers. That's sure. These two providers should be mandatorily coming from a different platform, like LifeWatch and Miri, Eric, or they could be two providers from, for example, Miri.
Yes, they can be two providers from MIRI, from the
Yeah.
same research infrastructure.
Yeah, perfect. So that was something that people asked me, so that's fine. I think from my side, this is the major question, and we are still evaluating the feasibility of the proposal. So for me, it's fine.
Okay, thank you so much. So there's also another question in the chat. If there is a supporting budget for specialized consumables to execute the service, the budget is already allocated to that a given service. Okay, so you don't need to have any concerns about the budget for the specific consumables of that service. So everything is included. Okay. So regarding how long can be the duration of a travel and accommodation for requesting the service. So in the in-person services, you need to visit the installation in order to have access to a given service. So this visit must be negotiated with the service provider. Okay, the duration and the accommodation, the travel and the accommodation are supported from the program. So the duration of these visits must be negotiated with the service provider. So after the proposal is evaluated, and if it is granted, you need to negotiate with the provider regarding when this visit is going to happen and all the conditions, namely the duration. Okay, what the rules that we have is that the provider is the one in charge for providing the travel and the accommodation for you. So you don't, the users do not need to pay for the travel and the accommodation in advance. Okay, so the provider will be in charge of taking care of all this. So we have here we can explore another plant crop in the Mediterranean area. I don't quite know. What do you mean? Can you speak up, Saba? Yes, you have raised your hand. Can you just explain your doubts?
Yeah. Thank you for the presentation. I'm a research scientist from Tunisia, and I'm looking to conduct my research within several research institutes in Europe. I have already contacted different services provided by Microbe for Climate program, and we are discussing about the period of the proposal of the project, and also concerning the crop. We can for example here we presented you presented some examples of plantless or crops like cereals, but we are focused on another kind of crop. I mean that we are interested in studying microbiota for a specific crop within the Mediterranean area. And so I'm asking if we can propose something different than crops or examples that you have already presented within the catalog of regarding the program.
Yes, Laura can also reply to you. What Laura presented was just a few examples. Okay,
Yeah.
You don't have. You can submit your proposal with the plants or crops that you want to study. But Laura, if you wish to comment this.
Yeah, no, that's true. That was just an example. It's not necessarily that you should work on cereals or cucurbits or anything.
Okay.
Just make sure that you check with the service manager whether they are used to working with your specific plant of choice, and if they can accommodate that, then no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
And another question is about the period. I mean that I'm looking for a project for 3 years. It is feasible to conduct a project for 3 years?
Okay, these calls are not meant to fund projects, okay? These calls are meant to fund some specific services that you need in a project.
Mm-hmm.
We are not funding projects by itself, okay?
Yeah.
So if you have a project that has already been funded, but you need a specific service or a specific study, you can apply to this call, but this is not meant to fund an entire project, okay?
Okay, thank you.
So this 36-month period is for the provision of services. If your proposal to apply for those services is feasible, you need to discuss that with the facility managers and the
Okay.
service managers. Okay,
Thank you for the clarification. Thank you.
welcome. So is there any other question or doubts? You can also raise your hand and speak up, or you can just write in the chat. Okay, we have here also a question. Well, you are asking to tell you more about the number of samples that users should provide. This depends on your proposals, okay? So if you want 5 samples, for instance, in your study, you need to check first with the facility managers of the services that you wish to apply. Here we cannot tell you that you can have access to a maximum of or send a maximum of samples to a given service. This must be discussed with the service providers, okay, prior to the submission. And the number of samples depends on the feasibility of your proposal. So you need to present a feasible proposal, and in order to comply with the feasibility, you need to have a given number of samples for the proposal to be feasible. Okay, but this must be checked with the facility manager. Okay. So it is really very important that after you select the services that you want to apply, please contact the facility service managers in order to discuss with them the best way to turn your proposal a feasible proposal, okay, prior to the submission. So it's really very, very important. Okay, there is another question about the limit of services. There is no limit of services, okay? The minimum number is 2 services that must be offered by 2 different facilities. But this is the minimum number. We don't have a maximum number, a limit, okay? You can apply to 4 or more services. Okay. All the criteria for the eligibility and feasibility are very well described in the catalog. You have access in the web page of the project, and also there you have the record of the first part of this webinar, where we also explain those criteria. So please take a look at those video, at that record, and also the catalog. Okay, there are alternative emails. The emails that I put here is my own email of the access officer, and you can just send me an email if you have doubts about the eligibility criteria. There are also 2 different emails in the website of the project, but all the emails are going to be forwarded to me. So if you wish, you just send the email directly to me, and the other emails regarding the feasibility of the proposals must be sent to the facility managers, okay, not for me. If I apply for trust services, can two of those be from the same facility? Yes. Okay. You can have two services from the same facility, but if they are from the same facility, you need to have a third one from a different facility. Okay. So the rule is for you to have at least two different services provided by two different facilities. Okay. So I believe that if there are no more questions or doubts, we can finish the webinar. Thank you so much, Youssef and Laura, for contributing to this second part of the webinar in order to provide some more input about EASIA platform and also about the use cases and how to combine different types of services. Thank you all so much for everyone who has participated. So you are free and welcome to submit your proposals. The deadline is the 30th of June. Please take into consideration that deadline, and we are here and we are available to answer to all your questions and all your doubts. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Yvonne.
Thank you.